Welcome to Pigeon River Farm, doing farming right. I'm Robert Brown, the owner of Pigeon River Farm. Thank you for viewing. Well, good evening. In tonight's episode, we're going to have a few thoughts of a farmer. And the thoughts are going to be specifically on the concern I see with quality in agricultural products. It's been a problem, I would say, now probably going on around 80 years or so. Every year consecutively I've seen less and less quality in the foods that are being produced and sold to the public. Whatever methodology that is, if it's the raw material as in the corn and soybean, all the way up to final vegetables, poultry products, all that. All these become a major issue, and I devoted my farm operation to doing this better, to doing farming right. And things I want to bring up that are really critical to understand. When you buy eggs, as an example, because I'll talk the areas that we specialize in. So when you're looking at purchasing eggs or beef from the store, what's your expectations? Are you expecting it to be high quality with the consumer, the health of the consumer in mind, or are you thinking about the bottom line, make it as cheap as possible to fulfill all the food chain that's in between there? We got quite a food chain in our industry. You got to figure, you got the wholesalers in between, then they're going to go to some type of distribution, ultimately into a finished product. And if it's, you know, Egg McMuffin that you're having at McDonald's, or it's going to the grocery store, trust me, the quality of that food is getting less every year. Mineral content that is in the soil has been depleted. I did that section in my last video about that. We have the animal welfare, something I really believe in, is really almost, it's forced upon a lot of farms, but it isn't something that really anybody takes very serious. They do the bare minimum. My view here is we try to treat the animals with the highest level of respect, our soil with the highest level of respect. The challenge is in the business portion of farming. So I focus exclusively on quality. I've had a rich career. I've done a lot of different things. A little bit of history here. I was a researcher for Snap-on Tool Corporation, so I know about high quality products. I know about the best of the best. And I've done other things, but farming is my passion and my love. And to produce this high quality product takes a lot of input, takes a lot of cleverness on what you find as far as the highest quality that you can put into it. And that's where it seems to really be lacking. The amount of sourcing I have to do and the checking, I mean, there is good news, is there is a devoted small section of people out there really want to do the right thing. But unfortunately, we are up against, I'd call it the chicken concentration camp, use that as an example, where they put 250,000 birds into a barn. You don't want to know what the feed is all about. It really gets pretty horrid. And that's what you're getting for an inexpensive egg. Well, to do it right, our eggs, chickens are in pasture. We have a unique situation here. We have a no-cull policy. I try my absolute best to let the birds die a natural death. Now, that's not necessarily the smartest business model, but it's the most humane business model. And if older birds do produce, they just don't produce as efficiently. But we put in our feed as an example. You know, we're certified non-GMO, so the corn is just a given. And then we try to source everything locally, since I got out of the cropping end of it. So we try to source everything locally. But I'll put in a soy-free. To produce the soy-free is a real challenge. And the biggest challenge in that soy-free environment is getting a substitute. So we use things like organic sunflower meal. Very pricey. Super high quality, but very, very pricey. Number two is we're going to put in, we're using a kelp. We're using a natural, we'll call Amaryllis to be organic, sea kelp, and that brings along all the nutrients. Then we have a package of minerals that we put in. It's really, really, again, expensive. The normal food that you're eating doesn't have this in it. Well, we go to great extent to source these things. I use a probiotic system. Again, very expensive to do, but gets the results. And I'm trying to do, my goal here is not only make my birds healthy, trying to make a profit for the farm here, and most importantly, our customer. So the customer eat the best possible product. You know, we're our eggs. You know, we have 400 layers. We're a smaller farm, all on pasture, producing some of the richest, highest quality eggs you can ever imagine. These are just literally, I would say, a curing doctor, if that's such a term, in your hands. When you have these, they're just amazing. But it took a lot of work to do this. I cover in one of my videos, I covered a thing on lutein, and that's from the poultry grazing and bringing that into their diet to help for macular degeneration. The kelp is going to bring in a significant amount of iodine. Plus, we use other processes, including iodine, if we get onto the field. So we have all these different methods that we put in place, and they all have paid off to one degree or another. And the thing that's the challenge for us, again, is trying to make a profit at this. So we're really more into the health food business than we are truly into the commodity business. And the difference are so large. Think about a cheap, inexpensive, junky car versus buying a Ferrari. You know, we live in more of the Ferrari world, or the fine gems, or whatever you want to think about it. But it takes an awful lot to do that. It really does. It takes an awful lot. And I really focus on how to do it. So back to the eggs. So we have the chicken mobile. We take the chickens out on pasture. They spend a good chunk of their life out on pasture. During the winter months, they're all in our massive high tunnels. So they're getting the sunlight and everything to go with it. So what we're asking from the consumer is to please consider us as in farms that run an operation that are focusing. A Greener World, that's the parent organization for Animal Welfare Approved. They certify farms all over the world, actually. And these farms are, I would say, the certification, we were organic certified for a lot of years, and it's great. It's absolutely great. But the animal welfare certification through A Greener World is absolutely the toughest and the best I've ever seen. So just try to remember, when you are out buying products, think about using them type of labels as being the criteria to make your family healthy. So that's really all I have to say on the matter, but I thank you very much for your time and have a great evening.